It was kind of a grant, I think, through Earth First. There's a small foundation up in Portland, actually, that gave them the money to start it. And I wasn't involved right at first, but this guy, Saxon is his name, it's well known. He did the first 4 issues, and then the current group, more or less, there's been continuity ever since.
Certainly there's a sense in which Green Anarchy stepped in to fill a certain kind of void in the conversation here. There's a sense in which, if it didn't exist, someone would have had to have invented it.
He kind of handed it off to a bigger group, and a group that right from the beginning had a critique of civilization and industrialism and technology and so forth. When the primitivists took over, it became much bigger almost immediately, and now we're only doing 2 issues a year, but it's close to 100 pages per issue. As people dispersed and things got quieter here, then there was more of a need. And I was kind of playing an unofficial, active role in it anyway, to some degree, so I just kind of moved in to help out.
They do 2 things really well. The first one is that they have the direct action diary, basically, of sections that link together a diary of direct actions from around the world. Prison resistance, you have indigenous resistance, ecological, anti-capitalist, you have animals resisting humans, you have nature resisting humans. Those are strange things to link together and say, this is what anarchism is about.
It's trying to do a lot of things. On the one hand, it proselytizes, it seeks to change people's minds. On the other hand, it's also, as you say, a record of things that people have done.
The other thing they do is they put on kinds of workshops that you're never going to see at an anarchist gathering. I remember going to the North American Anarchist Gathering in Kansas in 2001. This is like right after Green Anarchy came out. The workshops that these people were doing, it was like, let's go learn how to build cordage. Since when is learning how to build primitive structures out of cob anarchist resistance?
I mean, you can have the critique and you can have the negative side, which we do. What is the record of what does industrialism cause, and what does the mass life or mass production, mass culture orientation give? The other part of it is we're talking about reconnecting with the earth and wondering why there's just more and more mediations.
I've often made use of selections from Green Anarchy that provide these kind of alternative points of view. Now, a lot of my colleagues would be very critical of that approach. They'd say, well, you're giving legitimacy to a view that should not have legitimacy in the classroom. But it seems to me that most of my students in an environmental philosophy class in Eugene either have encountered this discourse outside of the academy, or they will.
It costs something like $6,000 per issue now to put it out. We put out 6,000-7,000 copies. We mail it to 2,000 or 3,000 prisoners for free. This is spendy. I mean, the printing bill alone is at least $3,000. And yet, somehow it happens. I mean, and it shows, I think, that the encouraging thing is people want to see it succeed.
Since 2000, a major shift towards the primitivism, the post-leftism, and I think Green Anarchy is at the forefront of that.
It has a place and a contribution to contemporary anarchism, although I don't know if it will come to be the name.